Hello everyone, hope everyone's okay. Thanks for all your support. Appreciate all the comments as well. Dean, you've encouraged me to do a few more here, mate. You know you're a nice one. So, I want to talk about what it's like to be diagnosed with cancer. Maybe some people can identify and understand, the feelings that you go through. But I was what? I was 5 years clean almost. It was 2016. I've got a house, I've got a car. I'm living a dream. I'm fit and healthy. I don't smoke. I'm playing the field because I'm single. I'm getting ready to go on a date. Goes upstairs. Getting ready for the shave. Looks in the mirror and there's this hideous lump, grotesque, sticking out the side of my neck here. Frightening the life out of me. I had no idea what it was. Went straight to the walk-in. They were baffled. Suggested I see me doctor. Went to my doctor the next day. She was baffled. Made an appointment for me to see a specialist in Broad Green. Went to Broad Green. 3 specialists looked at it. Now I'm really concerned by this point. No idea what it is. They've got no answers for me. One of them came up with this diagnosis of it being a blood clot, a suspected blood clot in my neck due to physical activity in the gym. He said was it training hard. I was doing a lot of deadlifts and bag work at the time, so I was, yeah. And he said maybe it's a blood clot caused by a strain within your neck, and if so, it'll work its way out within 3 months. Not to worry about it, come back and we'll check on it again. So there was a little bit of relief, but I thought, all right, a blood clot, I can suffer that, although it was like still ugly and hideous looking and misshapen. As long as it'd work its way out, I'd be fine. And me being me, right, I was in the process of making this movie. Well, I wasn't making it, obviously the director and the producers were, but I was part of it. And they were filming in Thailand, and I'd booked a flight to Bangkok to spend 12 weeks on set. I was excited. I was taking a risk, by the way, because I'd been deported from Thailand in 2010, so I wasn't too sure if I was allowed back, but I was just going to go to the airport and, just wing it and see what happened. Goes to the airport on the morning. I turned up. I'm standing in the checkout. Passport, the lot, bags ready. Wave me mates off. Nice one, see you in 12 weeks, lad. And this lump will be gone. Ta-ra, lad. And I'm standing at the passport checkout, and he looked at my passport. I looked up. I said, can you give us a moment? Now, alarm bells are ringing here. I think, oh my God, what the fuck? What's going on here? They come back 10 minutes later, they're yapping away at the back. They come back and said, excuse me, Mr. Moore, have you ever been in trouble in Thailand? I went, no. Me? You're joking, aren't you? He said, okay. Have you ever had an overstay? I thought, okay, I'll suffer that one. Yeah, 5 years. Spent 5 years, I overstayed. They just laughed and went, look, whatever reason it is, they won't let you back in Thailand if your passport's flagging up. So I was disheartened, gutted, to be honest. Called me mate, he's come back, took me back to Liverpool. And when things happen for a reason, right? I don't know if this was divine intervention or someone looking over me. But when I got home, I opened the front door, there was a letter on the floor. I opened it, and it was from the oncology department in the Royal Liverpool Hospital. He said, can we see you immediately? So yeah, I phoned him up. I went in the next morning, seeing this specialist. He was prodding away at this lump. He wanted to give me a second opinion, or get a second opinion. I said I needed a biopsy just to be sure, to be safe. And now I'm thinking, I'm really concerned now. I'm really worried because, oncology, cancer, biopsies. I said, okay. 2 days later, I was on an operating table, getting prepared for surgery. Right. Now, the surgeon who was operating couldn't find, a vein to put this injection in to put me to kip, to put me to sleep. So he suggested that he'll numb around my neck because they needed this biopsy immediately. They tried the attempt to get like a vein 3 or 4 times, and then they can't do it. Next thing, it's a PICC line. They have to like book that in. It was going to take another week. Would it be okay if I got an injection in my neck and a numbing agent? I didn't know, what a numbing agent was. I've never had this kind of like procedure done to me before. I said, yeah, it sounds, yeah, go on. As long as you can get this biopsy, mate. It was the most excruciating, painful, frightening experience I've ever had in my entire life. Right? Give me a few jabs in the neck. It was numb. Cut me open. Got this nurse holding my hand, saying, you're going to be okay. They put like a little cover around my face. They're working on my neck. This surgeon is on my chest, by the way, and he's pulling away and yanking. There's tears in my eyes and gritting my teeth. I'm hearing everything and feeling almost everything. Apart from the pain, I can feel all the yanks in that. And it went on for ages. Must have been about an hour. Until eventually they've stopped. And I didn't murmur, I didn't say it. I didn't like scream out or shout out once. And the nurse was like, oh my God, you're really brave. I said, I was absolutely frightened. It was terrifying. So anyway, the biopsy goes. Right, I'm stitched up and left in the bed. Send the biopsy. Going to a mate's funeral now. I'm all dressed up in a suit. It's May 2016. And I'm like, this whole week that I'm waiting for the results, my head's gone. My head is gone with it. I don't know what to believe. Is it cancer? Is it malignant? Is it benign? Is it just a lump? Am I worrying about nothing? All those feelings and fears are going around my mind. And I'm standing in this church at a funeral next to loads of friends who I'm close to at the time. And I remember saying to one of my mates and saying to him, if I died, lad? I said, see all this, you're all getting dressed up in black suits and that, and everything's doom and gloom. I said, I don't want that, He was like, what would you like, Bill? I said, why don't you all turn up in mankinis? Big, colourful, lime green, tangerine looking mankinis. And he burst out laughing. But then he looked at me and I felt he knew that I wasn't sharing some information that I had. But anyway, I had to go to this hospital, the Royal, to get me results after the funeral. Get to the Aussie, still in my suit, sitting in a waiting room. The nurse says to me, or the receptionist says to me, should I say that the doctor's going to be late. He needs you to wait. It's important. And now I'm like, whoa, what's he got to say to me? What is it? So, an hour, 2 hours are going by and he's busy doing something somewhere else in another hospital. Next thing, I get called in the office, the doctor wants to speak to you. He's sorry about like the time you'll have to wait, but it's important. He needs to see you. Can you wait? It'll be late this afternoon, about 3:30. I said, I've been here since 10 now. Right, I can't wait no more. What does he need to tell me? So grab the phone, look, tell me what it is. Is it bad? He said, he's sitting down. I went, yeah. He said, sorry to say, but you've got cancer. And I was like, okay, so what is it? He said, it's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and it's stage 3, which is aggressive. Now, the first thing I did after putting that phone down and getting up and walking out was think about my family. I think about my mum, because my mum was waiting for the news, and I thought, how am I going to tell my mum? It wasn't about me. It wasn't about, oh, woe be me, I'm a victim, I'm poor me. It was like, how's my mum going to react to this? How am I going to share this with my little mum and tell her that her son, she's nurtured and loved all these years, has got stage 3 cancer. And it was difficult. And I phoned her up and, you know, I'm all right, Mum, how are you? You're okay? And, you know, I had tears in my eyes, and I'm sitting in the car on my own because there was no one with me. You know, and I suggest you take someone with you. But at the time, I was rushing around, and, you know, I was on my own, and I'm sat in the car, and I'm in shock. I was definitely in shock. And my mum was asking me, you know, what's going on, and eventually I told her what the doctor had relayed back to me, and, you know, she broke down and started sobbing and told me to come home, and, you know, and I got angry with her because I thought that's not the answer. Coming home is not the answer. And, you know, and I told her it's okay, Lee, you know, I'll be fine, and tried to reassure her. And then that was it. I was drifting. You know, my head was gone with it. And this is where, you know, my relapse kicked in, because I went and seen the doctor, and then straight away I'm justifying medication. And he gave me a strip of codeine phosphate and some Valium. He said take 2 every 4 hours or when needed. And I was initially taking 2 every 4 hours. That turned into 4 every hour. Then it was a strip. The diazepam I didn't even take when needed. Okay, I'll have 3, 4, 5 right now. Boom. I'm wobbling everywhere. What that was doing was it was taking me out of reality. It was avoiding responsibility. It buried all the thoughts and the fears that was consuming me. And the more I took, the more it buried. I had a massive payout from this film company for the movie, you know, thousands of pounds, and hit the road running with it. Spent thousands on crack cocaine and heroin. I thought, this is it. I'm going to go out with a bang. I'm going to, I lost my job, I lost my house, I lost my car, everything, you know, and I'm using, and I'm on the streets of, you know, Liverpool, spending thousands, killing myself slowly. And at the same time, there was a part of me that wanted to live as well, so I was buying CBD, you know, the oil, and, you know, I was putting it into capsules, and I was having acidic foods and all the stuff that, you know, people were suggesting I take. And on the opposite side of it, I was using the drugs on top of the CBD. Then I was going for chemo. Oh my, it was fucking horrendous. I was getting chemo, lying there on this bed for 8 hours a day, getting the chemo every so often. All my hair fell out. I remember getting in the shower, washing my hair, and clumps just coming out of my head. I lost loads of weight. I went from 16 stone to 10 stone in no time. So, you know, I believed it was it. I was finished. I believed I was finished. I really did. I spent every penny I'd been given from the movie. I thought, you know what, I've had a party here. I'm going out with a bang. The lot's gone. I've enjoyed it. I got to this point of total acceptance around death. I don't know if anyone's ever got to that stage in their life where they've just accepted, like, your demise. But I did. I'd accepted this demise, and I thought, this is it, I'm going to die. And I'm going to, at least I've had a party, and I've sat in the oncology department. After finished all my chemo, I started, like, cultivating cannabis farms in my house to pay for the oil, because I couldn't afford it in the end. I ended up making some great star dog and cheese and some alien OG, some belter like weed. I ended up smoking the living daylights out of it, to be honest, on my own. I'll tell you about that in another video, how I planned all that, by the way. But yeah, I sat in this oncology department after all my chemo had finished. 6 months later, looking like a rake. There was nothing left of me. My clothes didn't fit me, you know, and I just waited for the results. And the doctors come in, he went, "Oh, are you okay? You how you feeling?" And I said, "Sounds all right, nice one, yeah." He said, "Mr. Moore, I'm glad to say you're going to be okay." I went, "What? What do you mean I'm going to be okay? You're fucking joking, aren't you?" my head had just gone because I had this was it. I was finished. I was thinking, you're messing, mate. There are no bills to pay here. I was fucking fuming. I wasn't fuming at the time, like. Anyway, well, you know what the good news is? He said, at least you're here to pay the bills. And, you know, and on reflection, I look back and, you know, they did ask me, you know, before I went on the chemo to freeze me sperm. So I'd never had kids, and I tried a few times with a few girls, and, you know, the results were always ended in, like, tragedy. Either they get pregnant and abort them, or, you know, I don't know, it just wasn't like meant to be at the time, so I wasn't really that bothered. And now, like, look at me, like, what, 5 years later, I've got this booming little baby boy. I've cleared the cancer. You know, I'm glad I didn't die and I didn't kill myself at that time. But I tell you what, it was the most frightening experience I've ever been through. And I've done it on my own. Really did. I've done most of that on my own. I isolated and separated myself from my family. So, you know, I didn't have to, you know, it's not you that's suffering, it's your family that suffers when you go. Because people are saying to me, you know, fight this, Bill, fight this. And I'm thinking, how the fuck do you fight something that you can't see? So what I did do is I put a pair of gloves on. I went to the gym and started punching shit out of this bag. And that's the only way I could fight back. And that's what I did. And this is fighting for my life is my second story. And it talks a lot about, in depth, in detail, about my journey. And I'm only touching the surface on a few of these stories. And I hope you've got something from this. But once again, thanks for listening. You all take care. Ta-ra now.